Before the noise, the tasks, and the distractions, start with God. Before the scroll, before the rush, before the pressure, begin with stillness. That sacred pause can shift the entire direction of your life. Your calendar can wait, your notifications can wait, but your soul? It needs a moment with its Creator, because without Him, even the most productive day will feel empty. But with Him, even the hardest day carries meaning. To start with God is not a rule. It's a gift, an anchor for your thoughts, a shield for your emotions, a compass for your decisions. It doesn't guarantee a storm-free life, but it guarantees you won't face it alone. Worry often creeps in when we forget who's in control. But prayer reminds us that God never left His throne. Fear loses its grip when faith takes its place, and the first act of faith is simply showing up before God. There's power in that first prayer of the morning, not because the words are magical, but because the heart behind them says, God, I need you. And that confession unlocks strength the world can't understand. You don't need to wake up strong. You just need to wake up surrendered. His strength is made perfect in your weakness, not after you've fixed everything, but right where you are. Right now, this morning. Too often, we wait for peace to find us. But peace is a person. And when you begin your day with Jesus, you're not chasing peace, you're walking with it. Fear not. That's the command woven through Scripture again and again. Why? Because God knows we're prone to anxiety. He knows our tendency to carry burdens we weren't meant to hold. So He says, give them to me. Let today be different. Not because life is easier, but because your posture has changed. Start on your knees, start with an open heart. Start by saying, speak, Lord, I'm listening. Maybe you're facing a decision. Maybe you're overwhelmed by the unknown. Maybe your heart is heavy and your strength is gone. Whatever the case, start with God. Bring it all to Him. He's not overwhelmed by your honesty. The world might tell you to hustle, to grind, to move faster, but the Spirit often whispers, be still. And in that stillness, you'll find clarity. You'll find perspective. You'll find God waiting, not impatiently, but tenderly. When fear tries to paralyze you, remember this. Fear is not from God, faith is. And every time you say, I will not fear, you're declaring that God's presence is greater than your problems. This doesn't mean you'll never feel afraid, but it means fear doesn't get the final word. Your trust in God drowns out the lies of the enemy, because the one who called you is faithful, and He will do it. What if you approach today with boldness, not because you feel brave, but because you know who walks beside you? Bold faith isn't loud, it's consistent. It shows up every morning and says, God, here I am. Your purpose is too important to delay, your calling too great to ignore. Start with the one who gave it to you. He already sees the path. He's already prepared the way. You just need to walk in it. You're not alone in your doubts, in your struggles, in your delays. But the invitation remains, start with God. Let Him turn fear into peace. Let Him trade your confusion for direction. Don't wait for the perfect moment. This is the moment. Today, this breath, this heartbeat. This is your chance to return to the one who made you, knows you, and still loves you. When the world says, figure it out, God says, follow me. When the world shouts, you're not enough, God whispers, my grace is sufficient. You have a choice today. Fear or faith, distraction or devotion, self-reliance or surrender. Choose well. Choose the one who chose you first. If this message reminded you to slow down and reconnect, share it with someone who needs to start again. Subscribe to Heaven's Whisper for more messages that ground your heart and lift your soul. And remember, start with God and watch everything else fall into place.